Hello YouTubers, welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today and talk about everything that is going on. And it is really becoming very important to really pay attention to what is happening, because this is on a whole nother level. We have issues with YouTubers being taken down. We have an underseated kind of just negativity that's trying to overtake. Most people don't look at it as being really a big deal. But I say it is a big deal. Because this is how people who have bad intentions, this is how they rise up. So most recently, we have seen Meghan and Harry talking about misinformation, talking about social media being like, people who are like drug addicts when it comes to social media, and really trying to get people to see social media as this really evil and negative thing. Okay, now, why do you think they talked about this as being an evil and negative thing? Why did they come out and start saying these things? Because people were saying not very nice things about them and their behavior. It was just like, oh, wait a minute, the internet is being mean to us. We got to make that part of our messaging. I got to be strategic and say, this is what I'm going to talk about, because this is something that I don't like seeing. And so what they are doing, and we have seen them talk, we have heard them talk about this most recently.
How much do you think this whole issue of perception, and specifically for women, is a function of or being impacted and influenced by the media and the world of social media?
The entire environment of social media, not just social media, media in a broader sense as well. I think there is really legitimate media, but at the moment you see, in many ways, social media feeding into that. So it becomes a race to the bottom, because this clickbait culture has made it so that something that's salacious is more interesting and gets more pickup and can be monetized.
Right.
So that ends up being the thing that feeds the entire environment of the media. I think the challenging piece there is that in many ways, because it is so quick and rapid in how it's being delivered, it's about creating the news rather than reporting the news.
She cares about something that is affecting her directly. And so she is going to make that her mission to speak about the nastiness and the vitriol that's within social media, because it is affecting her and her branding very negatively. And so this is why they have spent all this money on PR. This is why you have this Bozy guy coming out trying to talk about social media and getting rid of people on YouTube, because the people that are speaking negatively about Meghan is unprecedented. There are so many people that have channels out that are really speaking about her behavior, because there is something there. There is something there. And so she is trying to make this part of her messaging. Okay. And at the same time, she wants people to take her seriously about what she is saying, because they're just saying mean things. Why are they saying these mean things? And she doesn't like it. And look at the things that are written up about them on in magazines, on these Entertainment Tonight shows. It's all these puff pieces, trying to get people to see them in this light that is very like fairy tale like. Oh, she married the prince. She married the prince. Look at the princess. It's kind of like you want to see it to feel good about it. And this is what most people will see that are not really on the internet, who are not in that social, electronic age of information, but they just kind of see what comes across their TV screens and what they see in the newspapers, But if you're not following what people are saying in comments and looking at how this is really not very well for Meghan in terms of how it makes her look, you would think that this is somebody who is not really doing very well in the eyes of public opinion. But when you're not on these social media platforms, you see a very different story. And they are able to paint the picture, of the pretty, sunny skies and the flowers and the smiley faces and the family. And we're just doing so wonderful. I'm the black disadvantaged girl that's gotten rescued by a prince. This is the pretty picture that the people see, that they're paying people to see through their PR, right? You know, ET Tonight or Us Magazine, like entertainment shows, like they're going to carry the narrative that they are paying so much money for. And so now we know most recently that, you know, they're taking people to court, and, you know, people are seeing that they're taking people to court, but they're not really following the court cases. They don't really understand the essence of it. And this is what they're relying on. They're relying on the American people not really following it because they never really have followed it. You know, in America, we just kind of see glimpses. The royal family here. Oh, the queen's walking and she's on the balcony. Hi, queen. Isn't that just so nice? Just the queen up there, you know, but we don't know why the queen there. We don't know why the queen's standing up there on that balcony, what the meaning is, the traditions behind the things, with the horses and, you know, the queen, you know, memorials for the different things that they do, or honoring their traditions, all of this, you know, pageantry, you know, it's the nice, feel good, fluffy stuff. Okay, but as I've learned more about the royal family, I see that this is really seated in a lot of meaningful cultural things. And unless you're looking at it for what it really is, you're only going to see the surface things of the things that just come our way. You know, especially now that there's these things that are going on over in the Ukraine, and, you know, there's just a lot of things that people are not paying attention to. And I think they have relied on that heavily. Hence, this is why that they left the royal family, because they knew the British people were going to see right through that nonsense. You know, because when she was out spending all this kind of money, you know, on her dresses and spending the taxpayers' money, she knew. She was like, I got to get from up under these folk. They kind of know a little bit too much of what I'm trying to do. They too much all up in my business. But if I'm spending money over in America and I'm doing things in America, you know, Americans are just going to see, you know, I'm an American, and, you know, I was an actress, and, you know, I married somebody over in that foreign country over in England, and, you know, they're not going to know the intricacies and the details of the information that the most people in the Commonwealth and the British countries are going to know. Now, we know there are the exceptions, the Americans that are the exceptions, but I'm talking about the mainstream in America. I'm talking about the people that follow the mainstream. They're going to see it, not in depth. Okay, so this is what they rely on. This is what Meghan and Harry rely on, because it helps them to have their story be told and people to really buy into it. And most recently, Prince Harry has teamed up with Aspen Institute's fight against misinformation, basically as a philanthropic partner, paying money to be a part of this study. So after the Oprah interview, a Morning Consultant poll found that the share of Americans who saw Harry favorably increased from 46% to 69%. But a YouGov poll in the United Kingdom showed him with his first net negative rating among Britons, as his popularity fell by 15 points. Therefore, the connection to try to get YouTubers off of the internet who speak negatively about Harry and Meghan is part of their strategy, because we know YouTube, internet news goes across border lines, and so the more our voices are amplified, the more it starts to hurt them and their message.